We've seen instances where defendants will be distracted to keep quiet and not talk when he's talking. We've seen instances where he will move against security officers. Let's come back to this morning. He acted unruly. I appealed to him severally. I asked him to be excused, and I asked him to excuse us. The security officer wrote to me. They begged him to severally. In his usual manner, he refused to comport himself. Institution must be respected. We must act according to rules and laws. Nobody is above. We allow anybody to act anyway. The sanctity of this temple will not be there. As a judicial officer, I'm bound to protect the sanctity of this temple of justice. Like I said earlier, the right to be present throughout the trial is a constitutional right. Even fundamental rights. But fundamental rights is not absolute. It is opportunity to use that right that you have. Please don't open that door again, please. Once you have been given the opportunity and you fail to use that opportunity, such person cannot claim the breach of that right. This morning, the defendant was given that opportunity. He has raised the issue, he's raised it severally. He has conducted himself in this manner severally. And I think this is the time to put a stop to it. It is strike law that if a defendant misbehaves or acts unruly in the courtroom, his trial can be done in his absence. As stated by the defendant this morning, he said he has put in his defense. He is not calling any witness, that he is only written address. And I will get to the issue of written address in the judgment. We are not taking evidence this morning. Is to take judgment and sentence if possible. It is based on that I hereby make an order that because of the unruly behavior of the defendant, his aggressiveness and violent nature, I hereby make an order that the judgment and other proceedings proceed in his absence. I take my judgment. The defendant was arraigned before this court on 7-count charge, which reads thus. Count 1. That you, nnamdikanu, male, adult of Aparanuku Ibeku in Umo Air North Local Government Area of Abia State, sometime in 2021, being a member and the leader of Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOP, a proscribed organization, did commit an act in furtherance of acts of terrorism against the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the people of Nigeria by making a broadcast received and carried in Nigeria within the jurisdiction of this court with intent to intimidate the population and you threatened that people will die, the whole world will stand still, and you thereby committed an offense punishable under Section 1, Sub 2B of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013. Count 2. That you, Nnamdi Kanu, male, adult of Afaranuku Ibeku, in Umuahia North Local Government Area of Abia State, sometime in 2021, did commit an act in furtherance of an act of terrorism against the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the people of Nigeria, made a broadcast received and heard in Nigeria within the duration of this honorable court with intent to intimidate the population. You issue a deadly threat that anyone who flouted your seat at home order shall write it or her will. As a result, banks, schools, markets, shopping malls, fuel stations, domiciled in the eastern states of Nigeria were not open for businesses. Citizens and vehicular movements in the eastern states of Nigeria were grounded within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, and you thereby committed an offense punishable under Section 1, Sub 2B of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013. Count 3. That you, Nnamdikanu, male adult of Aparaku Ibeku, Umuahia North Local Government of Abia State, on dates between 2018 and 2021 within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, profess yourself to be a member and leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, a proscribed organization in Nigeria, and that you thereby committed an offense contrary to and punishable under Section 16 of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013. Count 4. That you, Nnamdi Kanu, male adult of Afaranuku Ibeku, Umuahia North Local Government Area of Abia State, on date between 2018 and 2021, made a broadcast received and heard in Nigeria within the jurisdiction of this court in furtherance of an act of terrorism against the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the people of Nigeria, in which you incite members of the public in Nigeria to hunt and kill Nigeria security personnel, and that you thereby committed an offense punishable under Section 1(2)(h) of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013. Count 5. That you, Nnamdi Kanu, male adult of Afaranuku Ibeku, Umuahia North Local Government Area of Abia State, on date between 2018 and 2021, made a broadcast received and heard in Nigeria within the jurisdiction of this court in furtherance of an act of terrorism against the Federal Republic of Nigeria and people of Nigeria, in which you incite members of the public in Nigeria to hunt and kill families of Nigeria security personnel, and that you thereby committed an offense punishable under Section 1(2)(h) of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2013. Count 6. That you, Nnamdi Kanu, male adult of Afaranuku Ibeku in Umuahia North Local Government Area of Abia State, date between 2018 and 2021, made a broadcast received and heard in Nigeria within the jurisdiction of this court in furtherance of an act of terrorism against the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the people of Nigeria, in which you directed members of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, a proscribed organization, to manufacture bombs, and you thereby committed an offense punishable under Section 1(2)(f) of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013. Count 7. That you, nnamdikanu, male, adult of Afaranuku Ibeku in Umuahia North Local Government Area of Abia State, on date between the month of March and April 2015, imported into Nigeria and kept in Ugulujo in Ihiala, local government area of Anambra State. Within the division of this court, a radio transmitter known as Stamp 50L concealed in a container of used household items, which you declare as used household items, and you thereby committed an offence contrary to section 47(2)(a) of the Criminal Code, Cap C-4-5, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. In discharging its burden of proof, the prosecution called 5 witnesses as follows. 1. Mr. AAA as PW1, Mr. BBB as PW2, Mr. CCC as PW3, Mr. DDD as PW4, Mr. EEE as PW5. The prosecution also tendered the following, which were admitted in evidence by this court. 1. A document titled Items Recovered from Nnamdikanu of Radio Biafra at Golden Oakley Hotel located at number 42/44 Airport Road, Lagos on the 15th day of October 2015 was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWA. 2. This titled Interview with Nnamdikanu and a Certificate of Compliance filed on the 28th day of April 2025 were admitted and marked as Exhibit PWB and PWB2 respectively. 3. The statement of defendant dated 15th day of October 2015 was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWC. 4. A process titled A List of Items of Nnamdikanu filed on the 19th day of March 2024 was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWD. 5. 4 bags as identified by PW1, Mr. AAA, were admitted and marked as Exhibit E bag A to E bag D respectively. 6. Items in Exhibit E bag A as identified by PWA were admitted and marked as Exhibit E bag A1 to E bag A13 respectively. 7. Items from Exhibit E bag B were admitted and marked as E bag B1 to E bag B32 respectively. 8. 10 items from Exhibit E bag C, Exhibit E bag C1 to Exhibit E bag C10 respectively. 9. Contents of Exhibit E bag D were admitted and marked as Exhibit E bag D1 to Exhibit E bag D17 respectively. 10. A letter dated 10th day of June 2021 from the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister for Justice addressed to the Director General, Department of State Service was admitted and same was marked as Exhibit PWF. 11. The statement of the defendant Nnamdikanu dated 17th day of July 2021 was admitted as Exhibit PWG. 12. A device to it, flash drive, black and red in color, and a certificate of compliance were admitted and marked as Exhibit PWH and PWH1 respectively. 13. A disc in respect to the statement of the defendant taken on the 17th July 2021 and certificate of compliance thereto were admitted and marked as Exhibit PW1 and PWI and PWI1 respectively. 14. Federal Republic of Nigeria of Official Gazette number 99 in volume 104, dated 20th day of September 2017, titled Terrorism Prevention Order 2017, was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWG. A document to which medical report titled the late Ahmed Gulag, hospital number 013931, dated 18th July 2021, was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWK. 16. A certified true copy of the judgment in HIN/FR/2021 between Nnamdi Kanu versus Federal Republic of Nigeria and 7 others, delivered on the 19th day of January 2022, was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWL. 17. A certified true copy of judgment in FAC/UM/CS/30/2022, delivered on 26 October 2022 between Nnamdi Kanu versus Federal Republic of Nigeria and 2 others, was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWF. 18. A certified true copy of the judgment in suit number E/2023 between Nnamdi Kanu applying for himself and on behalf of members of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB versus Federal Republic of Nigeria and 4 others, delivered on the 26th day of October 2023, was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWN. 19. A document titled Lagos State Judicial Panel of Inquiries on Restitution for Victims of SARS-related abuses and other matters, was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWO. 20. A faster flash drive with certificate of compliance were admitted and marked as Exhibit PWP and PWP1 respectively. 21. A disc titled Interview with Sahara Reporter with certificate of compliance was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWS. 22. The search warrant dated 28th day of October 2015 with search report was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWC. 23. A disc mass radio transmitter extra with certificate of compliance was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWU. 24. The statement of Benjamin Madugugu dated the 3rd day of November 2015 was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWD. 25. A standing flash drive with its attachments and also with certificate of compliance was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWW. 26. Online printout of Vanguard newspaper and certificate of compliance was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWS. 27. A container containing a transmitter was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWY. 29. A certified true copy of report on request for professional assessment of radio transmitter dated 25th day of November 2015 was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWA2. 30. Certified true copy of Vanguard newspaper of 3rd day of July 2021 from National Library was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWB2. 31. The payment received with revenue collection receipt from National Library of Nigeria receipt number 19128 of 7th June 2025 was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWC2. 32. The report of assessment of the damage as a result of NSAC was admitted and marked as Exhibit PWD2. 33. Death reports and certificates of security officers was admitted and marked Exhibit PWD2A. 34. Certificate of compliance was admitted as Exhibit PWD2B. EW1. The evidence of witnesses. Mr. AAA is an officer of the Department of State Service. His schedule of duties includes arrest, investigation, and taking of statements of suspects. According to him, the defendant is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra group. He stated that his first contact with the defendant was on the 14th day of October 2015, when he was detailed by his commander in the Lagos office to go to Essential Airport Hotel to arrest the defendant. PW1 stated that he went with some other officers, with one of them named Bolaji Adeyemo. On arrival at the hotel, they introduced themselves and informed the hotel workers that they were there to arrest the defendant. PW1 even showed the receptionist the photograph of the defendant, but he was told that the defendant was not in the hotel. He then asked for the guest manifest, but the name of the defendant was not on the manifest. So PW1 reverted to his commander, who then ordered that they conduct room-to-room search. In the process, they enlisted the cooperation of the manager of the hotel, who availed them of the master key of the rooms. Shortly after, Bolaji called PW1, who was downstairs, with his director, informing him that he had found the defendant in room 303. On getting to the room, PW1 stated that he met a young lady who was later identified as Miriam Ibedumako. He introduced himself to the defendant and informed them of the purpose of their visit. Thereafter, they proceeded to arrest the defendant, who initially resisted arrest. PW1 further stated that during the encounter, Bolaji intervened to calm the situation after the defendant elbowed him. Whereupon, the defendant eventually agreed to follow them to the station. PW1 stated that the room looked like a broadcasting studio due to the broadcasting items mounted on the table, such as microphone, a tripod, and airport, transmitter, mixer, and score. PW1 said they located the defendant at about 23 hours of the day. When they arrested him, they also arrested him with some of his baggage, which was listed in a sheet of papers, which the defendant signed. He said the items recovered were about 70, and it took some time for him to complete the inventory. PW1 stated further that on the following day at about 9 a.m., he was instructed to take the statement of the defendant. So he took him to the interview room and recorded the statement for him, which was captured on video. PW1 stated that at the time he took the statement of the defendant, the allegation against him was that he was the founder and leader of an organization known as the Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB, through which he allegedly agitated for the violent secession of Nigeria's southeastern state, South State, and as well as two states from the North Central region, namely Benue and Kogi. Also, that he founded Radio Biafra, through which the broadcast is intentions, inciting the general public, particularly his followers and those who are sympathetic to his cause, to violence, to achieve the decision he was agitating for. PW1 then stated that he issued the defendant with his service statement form after administering the cautionary words onto the defendant.
Please share and like this video, please.
The defendant signs the statement and same was countersigned by me, PW1. PW1 stated further that the international passport of the defendant was recovered and brought to them the following day by the manager of the hotel who found the passport on the bedside locker. Also, that the defendant used the name of Owenekei Ezedigo to book the hotel accommodation, and that was the name in the manifest. PW1 stated that during the interview of the defendant, he admitted to the allegation against him that he is indeed the founder and leader of indigenous people of Biafra group, and that he operated Radio Biafra, which is not registered by the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission or any other government agency. In addition, the radio station broadcast information across Nigeria and the world at large. Under cross-examination, PW1 stated that he was one of the officers who interviewed the defendant, and that during the interview, the defendant's lawyer was not present. PW1 said he took the statements of only the defendant, and that the items recovered from the defendant did not look offensive. Also, that they did not analyze the phone of the defendant as they thought it was immaterial at that time. He said he did not personally arrest and investigate any person who may have committed any crime on the instigation of the defendant. Furthermore, that he did not investigate the lady arrested with the defendant to see if she was aiding the defendant in terrorism activities. PW1 denied knowing if the defendant's name named any other person as a co-conspirator, or if any other person is standing trial on a related charge. PW1 said from his knowledge, the defendant had the support of persons like Simon Ekpa in his agitation for prosecution. He said the defendant incited others to destroy public properties. PW1 stated that even though there have been killings in other states such as Kaduna, Zamfara, as far as it could tell, those killings were not product of agitations for separation. He said he knows that IPOB was described in 2017, but he does not have other details of the matter. PW1 stated that there are people who carried out the order of defendants, including sit-at-home order, in which people have been killed for disobeying the directive. He stated that he is not aware that a charge against the defendant for inciting persons to kill military officer was struck out by the court. Under re-examination, PW1 stated that the agitation of the defendant in this case is for a call for separation from the country for the southeastern, south-south, and some north-central states. PW1, Mr. BBE, is an officer of the Department of State Service. He stated that the defendant is a member and leader of the strike terrorist group called IPOB, which means the indigenous people of Biafra. PW2 also stated that he was assigned to take the statement of the defendant on the 17th day of July 2021, and that the purpose for the statement was for him to answer to the allegation contained in the letter sent to them by the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation. PW2 stated that the defendant is also the founder of Eastern Security Network, which is the armed wing of IPOB, and that he also established and operates Radio Biafra illegally, which was not registered with the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission, that the defendant told me all this during their interactions. PW2 further stated that during this interview, he was with his director and 4 other officers, as well as the defendant and 2 of his lawyers, namely Mr. Aloy Ejimako and Abila Tokchak. that the defendant admitted that he made broadcasts inciting people to burn, kill, and collect weapons from police officers wherever they see them. That the defendant also made statements, written statements on the same day. He said the defendant admitted founding the Eastern Security Network, and that he admitted making broadcasts where he ordered his followers to ensure that whoever flouts the sit-at-home order is attacked, and they led to the death of many people, including destruction of properties. PW2 further stated that one of the unfortunate persons who lost his life includes Ahmed Gulak, the former senior special assistant to the president Goodluck Jonathan, who died on 30th May 2021, and also that the defendant made broadcast on the 20th day of October 2020 during the entrance process, which led to the destruction of properties, including Lagos High Court building in Igoshere, as well as part of the Muritala Mohammed Airport order that the defendant asked the employers to behead any military or police officers, and this led to the killing and beheading of a military couple in Olu, in Imo State. In addition, it was established that a retired judge, Honorable Justice Stanley Nnamdi, was also killed as a result of the defendant's broadcast. PW2 stated that the aim of the defendant was the creation of the Republic of Biafra by any means possible, including war. Under cross-examination, PW2 stated that the video statement of the defendant was a complete reflection of what transpired during the interview, even though the camera was focused on only the defendant and his counsel. He stated that he does know if and how long the defendant was kept in solitary confinement prior to the statement being taken. He also said during the interview, the defendant did not tell him that he was frustrated or angry. PW2 said further that he is not aware of the content of the charge against the defendant to know if any person was instigated or incited by the defendant to commit any crime. He also stated that he did not know if at the time of the DSS received LGBTWF, the charges are already been pending against the defendant. PW2 stated that even though the governor of Southwest State formed the Amotekun group to tackle security in their region, he is not aware if the Attorney General of the Federation wrote to the DSS to investigate the activities, which led to the formation of Amotekun. He stated that he never listened to Radio Biafra but only got reports from the DSS security platform, where people who are mandated to monitor sales put their reports. PW2 said he was not part of the team that arrested the defendant, and he did not investigate the defendant's assertion that he was kidnapped from Kenya, as it was not part of what was related to him by his boss. PW2 explained that extradition is a process of bringing a person from another country to a country to start his trial. PW2 denied that an officer of DSS kidnapped a defendant in Kenya, since they are restricted to only Nigeria. He said Nigeria is a signatory to the United Nations Charter as well as the African Charter, and that many countries fought their independence through agitation for self-government. He said there is no country today known as Biafra, even though the Nigerian Civil War was fought on the agitation of people of Southeast attempting to form their own country. He said he does not know if the defendant's home was attacked or that 28 persons were killed. PW2 stated that he visited some of the places that were destroyed as a result of the broadcast of the defendant, such as police station in Embonyi State. Also, that he is not aware of the status of Sahara reporters and whether it is registered. He said the defendant confirmed that he ordered seat at home in the southeast. PW2 confirmed that General T.Y. Danjuma, retired, has accused the Nigerian security forces of not being natural, of not being neutral. He said he is not aware that the Director General of DSS urged Nigerians to rise up and resist terrorists. He said he is aware that the NSIS movement was never classified as terrorist organization. He said the defendant was and remained a member of IPOD before and after it was prescribed by the court. Under the examination, PW2 stated that Amotekun is not the same as Eastern Security Network, as Amotekun is recognized by law passed by the Houses of Assembly in the Southwest States, while Eastern Security Network is not registered, not recognized by any law, so it is an illegal association. PW3 is Mr. EEE is an operative of the State Security Service and have been with the agency for 27 years. According to him, the defendant is the leader and founder of indigenous According to him, the defendant is the leader and founder of indigenous people of Biafra, a proscribed terrorist organization, and also served as the director and broadcaster of Radio Biafra, which was used to incite the public. He stated that his first contact with the defendant was on the 24th day of October 2015, when he was instructed to interview the defendant to take a statement regarding the allegation about his activities in operating Radio Biafra and also the founder of IPOD. He stated that on the first day, he invited the defendant to the DSS interview room at the National Headquarters, where he and 3 other officers interviewed the defendant and also video recorded of the interview, which the defendant consented to. He said the defendant did not reduce his statement in writing until 23rd day of October 2021 due to complaint of his being tired and needing to rest on the 24th day of October. He said the written statements were then signed by the defendant when he finished writing. DW in his further testimony stated that during the interview of 24th day of October 2021, the defendant was confronted with video recording of interview with Sahara reporter. In that video, the defendant was resolute that there must be a change and the change will not come through peaceful means. PW4, Mr. DDD, also officers of the State Security Service and has been in service for 25 years. According to him, the defendant is the founder of IPOD, a terrorist organization calling for the secession of southern, southeastern, south, and state, and some parts of Benin and Kogi from the Federal Republic of Nigeria. PW4 stated that he got to know the defendant in October 2015 when he was arrested by officers of the DSS. He stated that allegations against the defendant include that he was agitating for the secession of Biafra and using Radio Biafra to incite members of IPOD against the Federal Republic of Nigeria. PW4 stated further that on the 20th day of October 2015, through an intelligence, they discovered that the defendant smuggled a radio transmitter without declaring sale to the Nigerian Customs Service. that it was hidden from view using household equipment and was contained in a container. PW4 stated that it was kept in the custody of one Benjamin Madubugu in Anambra. PW4 said he got to know all this when he was handed a video recording when the defendant was seen in the company of the said Benjamin Madubugu inspecting the radio transmitter and taking ownership and declaring it as a game changer, which the where radio Biafra will be broadcast through. Following an instruction from the superior, PW4 obtained a search warrant and on the 28th day of October 2025 proceeded to the village where Benjamin Madubugu was and retrieved the radio transmitter. PW4 stated that when they opened the container, they found only the transmitter in it.
How many times is he going to read the same thing all over again? How many times?
The radio transmitter, with one individual named Chimede, who took the other items away, leaving only the transmitter in the container. He said Benjamin Madubugu wrote a statement on the 3rd day of November 2015 at the DSS headquarters, and he confirmed the result of the search. Benjamin Madubugu, when asked did not produce any custom paper. Benjamin was initially arraigned along with the defendant until he jumped bail and the case was severe. He said, IPOD has made life difficult in South East due to the sit-at-home order of the defendant, as well as the violence unleashed by IPOD. Further, the Eastern Security Network, which is the armed wing of IPOD, bears arms, engages in guerrilla warfare, where they attack security agencies such as the police and the Nigerian army. They also ensure compliance with the sit-at-home order. PW4 stated that in a particular broadcast of 30th day of May 2021, the defendant issued threats that anyone who defies his order of sit-at-home by opening their shop should be killed and the shop burnt. PW4 explained that Ahmed Gulag, the former senior special assistant to the former president Goodluck Jonathan, was killed on the day declared to be a sit-at-home, that he tried to take another route to the airport in Owerri when he was shot by airport terrorists. PW4 said he was the first person at the scene and he found the lifeless body of Gulag on the route. He said that from the feedback he got from the depleted economy and activities in Southeast and the people were living in apprehension for their safety. PW4 also said that he knew one Nkonzo identified as one of the dreaded commanders of Eastern Security Network, which real name is Kanu Nnamdi. He described Nkonzo as a ruthless commander who took direct orders from the defendant. PW4 further stated that Nkonzo was killed on the 24th day of April 2021 after masterminding attack in Olu, Imo State, during which he mobilized Eastern Security Network members and other adherents of IPOD to attack the correctional centers and facilitate the escape of numerous inmates who were in lawful custody. He also attacked the police headquarters and a lot of police stations or police officers were killed. However, he was involved in a shootout with security operatives after a manhunt was declared on him. The shootout led to his death. PW4 stated further that on the following day, 24th day of April 2021, the defendant made a broadcast in which he declared that Nkonzo would be buried specially in the manner of the Oba of Benin, meaning that he would be buried with human heads.